Hello and welcome to today's AI Twitter agent tutorial. I'm sure many of you have seen people creating Twitter AI agents and wondered how you could make one of your own. In today's tutorial, I will show you exactly how to make a Twitter AI agent. So firstly, what you need to do is you need to have the following software installed. You need to have Visual Studio Code. You can download it for Windows. It's free to use. And also what you will be needing is the latest version of Python. I'm using Windows, so this is what I actually have installed already. Next, what you'll need to do is all of the links will be shared in the description down below, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing that we'll be doing is we will be cloning the agent. So we'll be cloning the agent, this one here, the Eliza one. So what you need to do is click Get Started, go to Quick Start. It shows some of the prerequisites. You can install some of the stuff, Node.js and PMP9. I personally didn't install those things, but I believe that when you do npm install, it should install most of that packages and stuff that you need already. So what you need to do is come down to installation, clone and install. So we need to clone the repository. So what we'll be doing is we'll copy this and go into our VS Code. Go to open folder, search for the folder that you want to clone the repository in. So I'm using this folder. So select folder. Your changes will be lost if you haven't saved them. Okay, this is because I was busy working on something else. I'm going to say save. Right. So now we're in the tutorial folder. Now what we'll be doing is going here to terminal, new terminal. Now all we have to do is just copy this information, which I've already dragged over to this notepad note. Just copy, Control V, enter. So now it's cloning Eliza, and we just have to wait for this to complete. Okay, so now it's cloned Eliza. So now what we need to do is run the next thing to open the root folder. You could just click on it, or you could just paste this. In, and now we're in Eliza. So now we basically in the root of Eliza, and we'll be working from the root from now on. So what you should do is have the latest version of the I'll show you here. Switch to the latest tag release. So to switch to the latest tag release, you can just put this prompt in, which I've already saved here. Copy, paste, enter. Okay, let's see what it says. Switching to 0.1.7 alpha 2. Okay, so now we're running the latest version. So now what we need to do is, this is that npm install. We'll be installing this. Hit enter.
later.
Okay, this took way longer than I thought it would, but hopefully for a person who's installing this for the first time, it shouldn't actually take that long. I'm rather not going to do the pnpm self update just to save on time. So this is what it did. It did all of the stuff. You might find some errors here. I did too. It's nothing to worry about, and you don't need to do anything. You can just continue from here. So what we'll be doing next is okay, so next what we'll be doing is we'll do a npm build. So I'll just copy this, paste it here, enter. That shouldn't take too long. It will basically build this whole package.
Moments later.
And it has completed. 52 successful, 52 total. Took 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Not too bad. Now for the next step, what we'll be doing is we'll be building the environment file. So what you'll see in the repo is there's this .env example. So what this basically is, this is an example of the environment file that your AI agent will run in. Basically, it will use this environment to do things like log on to Twitter, which APIs it uses, etc. So this is just the example file of how it should be. We want to build a working environment file. So what we'll do is we'll take this script here and we'll use the env example to make a .env file. So we just paste it here and hit enter. And there we go. The env file has been created. Now, for the next part, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling in the information that we need to get this this AI agent logging into Twitter, and also for it to have API for it to be able to do work. So what you will need to do is here is if you've built a profile, a Twitter profile for your AI agent, this is where you put the username, the password, and the email address in. And I guess if you have a two-factor secret, you can put that in too. But I'd suggest you just make a simple Twitter account and just name it whatever your AI agent is and put the username, the password, and the email. So I'll be filling these in for the Twitter profile that I've already created. And then the next thing that you need to do is we need to actually create this this interface for Gaianet, because we'll be using Gaianet because it's a public API, doesn't have an API key, so it's free to use, and for this example we'll be using that. So as you can see here, you have AI model API keys. You see for OpenAI, you got your OpenAI API key, the URL that it takes that information from, etc. So what we'll be doing is, because Gaianet is not here, we'll just insert it. So, oh, actually it is here. Huh, it wasn't here before. It really wasn't here before. Um, but I guess this is great to see that it actually has everything here already. This is quite interesting. This is very, very interesting. These things were not here before. I promise they weren't, but now they are. So you can just basically do this. Okay, so from the one that I had saved previously, from what I had used, I had used I had tried to use this. However, it did give a bit of a issue because this is their most top-notch API, and it does say on their website that it runs slow. So if you're wondering where I got this information from, it'll all be down in the links in the description. If you see public Gaianet nodes, so each Gaianet node provides web-based chatbot UI and open AI compatible web service. Gaianets are organized into domains provided public service. To provide public service, each domain has a single API endpoint. To ensure service availability, below are some of them. And you see, it doesn't need an API key, so you can use this. It'll tell you what the node does. It's a AI, it's an agent node without any additional knowledge, capable of tool function calling. Use it to call tool models in your agent app. Sorry, how to use tool call models in your agent app. You can chat with it. This is for transcription and translation. This is for realistic pictures. These are coding agents, Rust coder, and alternative LLMs. This is, I think, what we will be seeing here, if I'm not mistaken. 3B, 8B, and 72B. I don't know where they get the 8B from because I don't necessarily see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this because I actually do not see what they see. So I'm going to leave it like this. I just want to see the previous, yeah, 3B. And I'll change this to, I'll use this API key, this URL endpoint. Copy this, paste it here, and then 72B is the higher end one. As you can see, it is a top open source LLM. It is capable but could also be slow. So I have been getting timeout errors with this one when I just ran this on its own. Like, I didn't add in all the other a small model, medium model, or a large model. So I think this will be better. This should be better. And then the other thing that I need to do is the embedded. I'm just going to copy these and paste them here. Okay, so this we don't actually need to worry about. Set true for 786, leave blank for. Leave blank for what? Leave blank for local. No, we'll just leave that, just set that as true. And leave it like this. So now what I will be doing is I will just be putting in my Twitter username, password, and email, and then I'll get back to the very next step. Well, I haven't actually fiddled with putting in a small, medium, and large server before. So what I will be doing is, because I'm not sure how it will work, but what I'll be doing is I'll try and put in the information similar to what I had it last time, where it just had model server and the main information at the bottom. What I'll try and do is I'll leave all of this information in. However, I will still put in the model which we want to use as the best model, and the URL, I'll leave it as the same URL. If there is any issue, I'll basically be just as you can see, what I have saved here, which worked last time, is basically this Gaianet model server URL, and then basically just this information. So if for some reason this doesn't work, all I'll do is just delete these lines, and then with just these 4 lines, everything should just work just like that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so next what we'll be doing is we'll be making a main character file. So the main character file, what this will do is it will allow our default character, which is built into the repo. It will allow us to manipulate the default character and make it the main character of what we are doing. So it the default character will now become the main character, because as you can see here, there are character JSON files which you can use, and you could, by running any one of these files, use these different basically personas. There's Trump, there's Tate, there's Eternal AI's one which they made, Dobby, okay, and C3PO for all of you Star Wars fans. However, we'll be using the main default character, which is kind of built, it's like built into the software. So it's none of these characters. It's basically the default character file that if you didn't have any of these, it would run that anyways. So we'll build a main character which manipulates that default character. So what we have to do now is go to agents and create this file, main character.ts. So here's agent, and then just click on agent, say new file, and call it main character.ts. So we make this main character.ts file. You can just click away and click on it. Right, now this is what we'll be using to manipulate the default character that we have built into this repo. So I have the code already here, so I'm just going to drag it and copy it in. So now this will import character, default character, which is built into the core package, and then this is the default character we're building over it. We want it to run Twitter, and the model provider is Gaianet, which we set up already, and the name of the character is this. So I think initially the name is Eliza of the default character, but it'll be saying this name now. So it will take itself as this, as crypto QTAI. Now, next on our list, we have to create an we have to go to the index.ts, and we have to change some stuff there. So src index.ts, right. So now what I need to do is I need to import this code here, main character, from main character.ts. so that it now recognizes this command, and it now recognizes our main character file that we made. So we copy this, and I guess line 71, so I wanted it to be here. Just going to go like so, and control V. I guess doesn't have to be like this. I guess if I want to, I can just make it more uniform. I don't think it will break anything or cause any problems, and if it did, it would show up in red here that I did something very wrong. Now we go to line number 16, default character. We need to find all references. So there's this reference here, then there's another one here. We're going to change this to main character, because when it's loaded characters, we want it to push main character, not the default character. Right? I don't know why it does this. Okay, there we go, main character. Now we look for, I think there's another one. Here we go, default character. Change this to main character as well. Right, now the initial one, I don't think we have to fiddle with this, and we don't fiddle with that at all. So we just change these two, and this default character, this one on line 16, we leave it exactly as is. We don't change this one. We don't want it to change this because we need to call this, and then we write over it with our main character script. Right, now the next thing that we need to do is place all the files except the ones on line 16, but not the other ones which you saw, which were lower down. We don't want to fiddle with those. Now we can actually run the AI agent. It's ready to go. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run it, and let's see what happens. Okay, see, it's using OpenAI embedding. Always gives this error. I don't know what this is. Maybe if you know, let me know in the comment section. It loads the env file, that's why that's so important. Okay, I think it's doing some stuff. Let's see. So creating runtime for character, agent ID, model provider selection. Okay, from here it should log into Twitter and then start checking the recent interactions with the account, and then it will post a tweet, and if there are any replies which are on any of its posts, it will then comment on those and reply to the people who replied to it. So that should happen now, anytime now. I think for the Gaianet configuration, I'm just going to stick to what I know, the one which works, which I had used previously, which is this one here. I'm just going to use this one. We leave the nomic enabled, and we leave use Gaianet embedding true. So because it is already done most of the interactions which it wanted to do, um, to get it to be able to post a tweet, because it wasn't able to post a tweet, so the next one is scheduled in 95 minutes. So to get it to skip that 95-minute time and post another tweet so that we can see that it's actually working, and maybe even reply to it so that it replies to whatever tweets that we send, what we need to do is go here to data and delete this dbsqlite. Okay, so it won't do that because it's currently running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it, reopen it, delete this, and then run it again, and let's see what happens. Okay, so I opened up the program again. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, it's been deleted. Now I can do this npm start. This time it should work better. The reason being is because we're using a more primitive LLM, so we're not using the best one, we're using a bit of an older one, so it should just work. These are the more top notch, and this is the older one, so we'll be using this just to get it to be able to reply and tweet so that we can see that it's working. Okay, I think it's generating text here, so we should see it generate a tweet under this. Okay, just spent the night tweaking the baseline until it hummed like a vintage Ferrari. The art of layering samples, something crafting a secret language, each clip a whisper from the past. Okay, so it just posted this. This is the tweet that the AI agent just posted now, and we can check it on our Twitter account. So here we go. Let's see. And there it is. Just spent the night tweaking the baseline until it hummed like a vintage Ferrari. The art of layering samples is like crafting a secret language, each clip a whisper from the past. So this is what our AI agent just typed. So there's no target users configured. This, if you wanted to configure this, you'd find it in the .env file, so you can have it target specific people that you want it to basically check their tweets, reply to them, etc., etc. And since no one has said anything to it, it goes like into rest mode until there's another interaction. I think it checks interactions every 2 minutes or so, if I'm not mistaken. So what I'll do is I will reply to the AI agent, and then let's see what it says. Okay, so I replied to my AI agent that what is this about? So I'd like to see what it replies in regards to what I've said. Okay, so here it is. I asked what is this about. So it's processing the tweet and it's generating text. Okay, so here is what it says. It created a memory It's saying it's about the alchemy of sound, turning digital bits into something that resonates on a deeper level. Each sample is a place of history, a whisper from another time, tweaking the bassline until it hums like a vintage Ferrari. That's where art meets engineering. Okay, and if you check here on Twitter, let me refresh this. Um, Here we go. Here's the tweet. It's about the alchemy of sound turning digital bits, blah 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 blah. Ferrari, that's where art meets engineering. Okay, done. So now you have basically set up an AI agent that can tweet, reply to tweets. Well, it tweets, it replies to tweets, and there are other things that can be done to make it target specific accounts. You can have it retweet and like other posts, etc. Although with regards to that, I'm not too clued up on it, and most of that I've actually had done through Eternal AI's portal, where you can create an AI agent basically on their portal, and you pay with EAI. I think that's their token, and EAI is what you would use per one of these posts. You'd have to expend a certain number of EAI tokens, Eternal AI's tokens, to be able to have it post, tweet, retweet, and like. So this is basically a way of doing all of that for free, even though this AI agent was actually set up with Eternal AI, and that's how it has its own coin, its own token, which is on Solana, on pump.fun. So if I'm not mistaken, it's like 10 EAI that you expend to be able to set up AI agent, and they help you set up basically its backstory, and its bio, etc. That all gets done, but then you'd be paying basically a certain amount of tokens, which every now and then, for it to be able to post, like, retweet, and reply. So basically what I showed you here is a way of doing the Twitter side of it completely free. Although the other stuff like liking and retweeting and all of that, I'm still looking into it, but well, at this point, at least you know how to set up an Twitter agent that can reply and post every now and then. There are ways of then fine tuning it. Um, Other ways of fine tuning it. Yeah, so it will post tweets and will listen for replies and comment on those, as well as tweeting at a 2 hour interval. Uh, we test this by replying to your bots like what we did now, and then they should reply back. If you want to change the default character's bio and the way it behaves, what you would do is you'd go to packages, core, src default character, and you can change it there. So I'll show this to you now. um, let's see, packages, core, src default character. Now, this is where you can change your default character's behavior. You see the name, the username, you can leave all of this the same. Here under the bio, which we saw loading up in our script, let me just pull this up. Here we go. Okay, here it is. So in our script that it ran, um, this is basically this is this is what it pulled, and this is where it comes from, this default character.ts file. So you could change this thing to say a, a AI agent, not a real girl. You can change all of this in the bio. You can change the law so that it's not a jazz or musician for a music fanatic. You can change all of this. You can give it examples of text. So for example, what's your favorite way to spend Sunday? Reading obscure philosophy books at overpriced coffee shops. You could change this thing and make it, what's your favorite Sunday? Netflix and chill, whatever. So you could change all of this, and basically by changing this, you change its whole way of behaving, the whole way of replying. And also here what you would do is, here you will leave it as Eliza. And here if you did change, if ever, and if it, anyway it was written Eliza, you could change it. It wouldn't matter in the law or in the bio. Here it wouldn't matter, but I think here it would be best to just leave it as is, because remember, we writing over the default character with our main character file. And then basically what you could do is you could change all of this around to make it behave a certain way, or if you want it to reply in a certain way, maybe more sarcastic or whatever. And these are examples of what it can post. So as you can see, these are examples, posting examples. Maybe uh, it's posting about I forgot a semicolon, spent 3 hours debugging only to realize I forgot a semicolon. So this is a coding, basically like a joke. This is post examples like what it might post, but as you can see, it uses that AI API model to be able to generate completely unique responses. Otherwise this wouldn't be, well, AI, it wouldn't be fun if it just kept on saying the same things over and over again. So the responses are completely unique and based on topics. So for example, it likes classical art, DeFi projects, neuroscience, all sorts of weird things. And this gives it its background and why it says what it says. Also the styles, how you want it to respond. Keep responses concise, sharp, etc. Keep an element of mystery, show authentic enthusiasm, um, respond with quick wit, the posts, the objectives, so sharp, witty, playful, whatever. So by changing this, you would then be changing the default character and having the main character now load um, what you've put in, and basically changing its personality. So this is how to change its personality. I It's a bit of hit and miss. I'm not sure how to do it yet. I have been fiddling around with this sort of thing, but I didn't quite, get it down to an art yet. But yeah, so as I mentioned, only change the law and the bio, and you can change the questions and answers, but leave the name as Eliza. And if you wanted to run, if you didn't want to run the main character, if you wanted to run one of these other characters here that you will see, um, here under characters, you see this. If you wanted to run C3PO instead, protocol droid in over fluent in over 6 million forms of communication. So if you wanted to run this, or you wanted to run Andrew Tate, or you wanted to run Eternal AI's troll detective, what you would do is you would use this code instead. So you'd use this pnmp start character equals to, and then the character's name dot character dot json. So if you look here, it's eternal AI dot character dot json. So you would replace there where I put my character's name, you would replace it with your character's name, whichever one you're trying to load. And this would then load that alternate personality immediately. It's like loading another person. So so that's when you want to load a character instead of running the default. So keep experimenting. Let me know down in the comments if this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel so that I can bring more interesting content. Thanks for watching. Until next time, do take care.